Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Dzkan Toys, where I do reviews and share my thoughts on some of my favorite toy releases. Hope all of you guys are doing well. Today we're gonna have something extra special as we have 3 items to look at. The first 2 in front of us are the event exclusives of Android 17 and Android 18 for the S.H.Figuarts series. And also the third item I will show you guys in a bit. It will be the event exclusive Dragon Ball Stage Act display stands. Here's a quick look at the back of the box for our event exclusive color edition Android 17 and Android 18. And over here is the event exclusive Stage Act Dragon Ball display stands. So this box is pretty plain, just black and white. Now let's get the unboxing started for all of these items. Alright, we have both figures unboxed, so while we take a 360 view of them, let's talk about the background information of the toy company as well as the characters. As for the toy company, S.H.Figuarts is a popular line of high-quality collectibles figures made by Bandai. For our characters Android 17 and Android 18, originally they're the antagonists from the Dragon Ball Z Android saga, and eventually as the story progresses, they became major players of the Cell saga. Of course, typical to many Dragon Ball characters that we've seen in the series, many of the antagonists eventually turns to protagonists, and for our androids here, it is no different. Now let's move on to the aesthetics and paint job of both figures. So in terms of the aesthetics, these are pretty much the same figures that we've got before in the S.H.Figuarts line, as these two are just a repaint of the original Android 17 and 18. Overall though, I have to say these body type aged much better than, let's say, a Dragon Ball 1.0 Goku body. Although these two androids do not use the 2.0 body in the Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts line that we became so used to, I have to say these body are still pretty good right now as for the aesthetics and articulation. Another thing I want to mention in terms of the aesthetics, just like the original Android 17 and 18 we've got, these look great and represents the Android characters really well. Also, their height scales pretty well with the S.H.Figuarts line in general compared to the other characters, so that's always a big bonus. Although there's not much change in terms of the aesthetics compared to the original, I'm glad Tamashii Nation's Bandai decided to release these as a repaint version, especially for those of you guys out there who never got a chance to get the original and don't want to pay high prices for the original figures. So that's good that we got a re-release over here. As for the paint job of both figures, because these two figures are actually a repaint of the original, so they actually do have a different paint job compared to the original. And over here, I have to say, in personal preference and for most of the people that I have seen with these figures, they all prefer the event exclusive repaint of these figures. Now let's show you guys a side-by-side comparisons of both figures compared to the original. Here we have a look at the side-by-side comparisons of the Android 17 event exclusive compared to the original. So the left side is the event exclusive, the right is the original. As we can see here, there are some color differences as the event exclusive is a repaint. And from what I have known and heard, my favorite part of the new event exclusive paintwork has to be the eyes. You guys can see that the eyes are much more lighter and in this bright blue color compared to the original Android 17. I feel like this is a nice touch, especially for the repaint, because although it didn't change the structure of the figure, it seems to give the figure much more life, and it really reminds me of the stairs that the Android had in the original anime and manga. As for the other differences, we can tell that the ribbon or slash scarf that Android 17 has is also done in a lighter orange compared to the original. The original is more of a darker orange with shades of red, while the new one we have some lighter shades of orange and even a little bit of light yellow. As for the body color, as far as I can tell, the black looks pretty similar, there's not much difference there. The sleeves, the new one seems to be a bit darker for the white color, while the original is a lighter white color. And as we move down to the pants, we can see the new Android 17 have a lighter color for the pants. it seems to be more shading for the jeans, while the original is just a dark blue color. And as for the belt over here, I don't have it attached to the original figures, but I'll check out if there's any differences. Okay, so I actually found the belt of the original over here. If you guys can see this one compared to the new one, the new one is a lighter brown, while the original is a darker brown for the belt. As we move down, then let's check out the other differences. So for the shoes, we have a lighter white on the original, and for the new one, similar to the sleeves, we have a darker shade of white on the shoes for the new figure. Other than that, I can also tell the skin tone of the figures are a bit different as well. The new Android 17 has a darker skin tone. It looks a bit more realistic, while the original is more lighter in the skin tone. So here's a look at the side by side from the back side. And interestingly enough, over here for the pants, we have a rip here in the design. The skin over here for the original is a lighter skin tone color. As I mentioned earlier, for the Android 17 over here, it's a darker skin tone for the rip part of the jeans for the skin tone under. Moving on to the side-by-side comparisons of Android 18. On the left, we have the event exclusive. On the right, we have the original. In terms of my favorite part for the repaint, again, for the new one, must be the eyes. The light blue pupil really makes the figure pop and gives the figure more life compared to the original one. As for the hair, the new one have more shading on it compared to the old one. The old one is just done in this one simple color, while the new one we have some sort of shading done at the roots of the hair. As for the skin tone, the old Android 18 figure actually is a bit more lighter, a bit more pale, but this you can barely tell the difference unless you compare the figures side by side. Moving on to the body. For the new one, we have a lighter blue used for the jean jacket and the skirts. The old one, we have a darker blue. Also on the new one, we have some sort of shading done on the lighter blue color, so that's a nice touch. As for the arm sleeves, they pretty much look the same. Maybe the new one is a bit darker. Moving to the lower body, for the leggings of Android 18, the new one is actually a bit darker in terms of the black color, and the old one, I would say, is more of a really deep dark blue / black. Finally, in terms of the boots, this one is more obvious. The old Android 18 figure is done in this much more brighter color of light, or I would say the color is some sort of an orange, and the new one is done in this brown color. Now let's show you guys the back of each figure. Oh, something interesting that I noticed here is for the R&R logo, the old one is just done in this red plus this white wording of the R. The new one, we actually have a white border, so that's a nice touch. I wonder if the Android 17 logo also have the border. So Android 17 actually does not have the border, if you guys can see over here. The new one here, his logo is in the chest area in the front, and the old one, there's no difference here. So it's just for Android 18. The original Android 17 also had great articulation, so this one should be no different. For the head, we have our 360 up and down. Arms go all the way up 360. So we do have a shoulder pad that's done in rubber that hinders the articulation a little bit, but you can work around it for sure. As for the elbow bend, we have about this much. Of course, the wrist, 360 rotation, and a little bit of a side-to-side wiggle. We have a ab crunch, upper waist rotation, a tiny bit, lower waist rotation, lower waist bend, back, leg articulation, all the way front, all the way back, kick. We can also almost do a split, knee bend, ankle articulation, rotation, back up, toe pivot. Now let's check out the articulation of Android 18. So for Android 18, it's basically same as the original Android 18 as well, because it's just a repaint. We have a 360 articulation for the head. Looking back, looking forwards, back is actually really nice. We don't have the scarf like Android 17, so it's not hindered. As for the arms, we have all the way up, sideways, 360, no problem. We also have an upper rotation articulation for the arms. That's pretty good. Elbow bend, wrist rotation, and a little bit of wiggle side to side. As for the ab crunch, We don't really have an ab crunch here, but we do have a waist articulation, forwards, backwards, rotation, side to side. On the side note, the jacket is made out of rubber, similar with the skirt, so it helps a bit with articulation for sure. Moving on to the lower body, we can kick all the way up, and the knees, we can bend about that far. And finally, for the boots and the feet, we have an ankle rotation, up and down, toe pivot. Now let's move on to the accessories. First, let's show off the extra faceplates. So here we have the original one attached right out of the box. Let's show off the extra ones that we have. So we have 2 extra faceplates. The first one is a smiling face. This one looks a bit more like a cocky smiling expression. The third one we have is a teach clinching face. I really like this one. The expression just looks fantastic, especially with the repaint of the eyes. Having more of a lighter blue, they really match well together for this design. Here we have the extra hairpiece attached. So the hairpiece accessory is a more dynamic looking hair compared to the stable hair or the normal looking hair. This one looks really nice. It really makes Android 17 seems like he's in battle and he's about to leap forward. Let's check out the side view and the back. Very nice. Here's a look at the scarf accessory. So we actually have 2 scarves, the original one and this one that I just swapped on for you guys. This one looks like it's more dynamic again. Seems like either the wind is blowing at it or Android 17 is in battle, something like that. Here's a quick side view. So I like all the options we have and the original one over here, if you guys can check that out. Next up we have the crossed arm accessory. So this one is a molded piece that we can basically put on after we take out the 2 articulated arms. This way we have a very natural pose for Android 17 in the crossed arm position with this accessory. Moving on, we also have this extra piece of belt accessory. So this one is to swap on when basically you don't want the look of this Android 17 to have this gun and accessory bag on him. So let's check that out. Here's the end results. Once we put the extra belt piece on and take the original one off. So this is probably the Android 17 that we're more used to seeing, as why would he need a gun anyways? But we do have the gun and belt accessory. That means we also have a separate gun accessory, which is over here. Furthermore, for the gun belt accessory over here, because this piece is molded in, what we can do is actually take it off and put on a piece like this without the gun inside and put it back on his waist. This way it looks like he took the gun out and we can attach the gun to Android 17's hand. Now let's check out all of the hand accessories. So the number of hands that's included in the Android 17 is kind of unreal. We have so much options. First, we have the closed fists that's attached to the figure itself. We have 2 of these for each hand. Next, we have open palms for each hand, a set of Kung Fu gripping hands, a set of gripping hands, a set of slapping palms, a set of open palms. Finally, 1 single trigger hand for the right side to hold the gun. We do not have a trigger hand for the left side. Alright, now let's move on to the 18 accessories. Compared to 17, she actually have much less accessories. Let's check out the extra face sculpt first. So the one attached to the figure right now, we have this kind of face. It's a slightly grinning face, I guess. The second optional face is pretty much the same for the mouth position. It looks like a little bit of a grinning face, but her eyes are looking to the other side. That's the only difference, is the eye position. The third one is a slightly smiling face. It's more like a cocky smile, similar to the 17 one. I do wish we had one more face sculpt that is more of a battle-ready face compared to the Android 17, but I guess overall for Android 18, most of the time she's pretty calm in her appearances in terms of the manga or the show in the anime. Similar to 17 again, we have an extra hair accessory, which is a more dynamic looking hair. I really enjoyed this one as well. Here's a side view. Pretty nice. The next accessory to show off to you guys for 18, again similar to 17, we have the crossed arm accessory. What we do is take the articulated arms off and we can plug this crossed arm in. It's a molded piece, so it will look natural. Here's another angle. Finally, for the hand accessories, the ones attached to the figure, we have a pair of closed fists, a pair of kung fu grip hands, a pair of open palms, a pair of slapping palms. Compared to 17, we have much more less hand accessories and accessories in general for 18. Before we get to the size comparison and final thoughts today, I still need to unbox the Stage Act exclusive stands for you guys. So basically, let's open them, and inside we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get 7 of these individual packages. Here's the back view, side. It shows all the different designs. So each one of them is a different design and it represents one of the Dragon Balls. Let's just take another one out. So it seems like all of them are the same in terms of the individual box art. We have the event exclusive signed Goku in the front, so the individual boxes are the same. Let's open one of them and check it out. Here we have one of the stands fully assembled and unboxed. The base itself is one of the selling points, as each individual base represents one Dragon Ball. The one I took out is the 1-star Dragon Ball, and we have 6 more. I'm not gonna show you all of them, but this is the basic idea of it. The other ones will have 2-star, 3-star, and etc. As for the base itself, is done in this clear orange color, which represents the Dragon Ball itself very nicely. We do have some sort of shading on it, so part of it is all clear while the other part is more of a metallic shine and sparkle. As for the stand itself, it's really nice. We have an articulation point here at the bottom. We also have another side to side here. For the upper part, you have an articulation point here, up and down, and again up and down here. There's a lot of options, and compared to the normal Stage Act that we usually get from Tamashii themselves, this one we have an extra support at the bottom, which can be very useful for heavier figures. So let's just take Android 18 over here and put her on the Stage Act. Just get a general idea. I'm not gonna really pose her, but here's the general idea. If we have all 7 out, and you can pick 7 of your favorite figures from the Dragon Ball line to display with this stand, it will be quite a nice display. One more thing is, because we do have screws on each individual point of the stands, this means that you can take a screwdriver and tighten the joints in case some figures are much more heavier and you want to keep them in a sideways pose on the stand like that or something. I don't know, up to you guys' imagination. Alright, now let's move on to some size comparisons. First, let's compare with other S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball Z figures. Here we have Cell. This is the repainted version of him. Next, we have our other lovely Android 16. Look pretty good together. We also have S.H.Figuarts Trunks, the recolored version as well. He looks to be around the same height as them. This is the custom Trunks, as I did put custom clothing on him. Here's some more size comparison compared to other brands. Figma Yugi, Mezco 112 Cyclops. Here we have a Revotech Gambit. Let's show one more, a bigger figure for the S.H.Figuarts line, S.H.Figuarts Thanos. Alright, final thoughts on today's review. I have to say I really enjoyed the event exclusive versions of Android 17 and 18, especially for many collectors out there who didn't get a chance to grab the original ones. Here's another chance. This is nice because the original ones was steadily rising in price. As for the repaint itself, I have to applaud Bandai Tamashii Nations. This repaint is basically better in almost every way compared to the original. There's a lot more shading going on for these Android event exclusives, and my favorite part of both of these figures are definitely the repaint for the eyes. They look much more sharper and brighter. They really make the figure looks more alive. So are there any negatives about this release? Well, There's 3 negatives I can mention about this release that I will share with you guys. First of all is that the repaint is done so nicely. It makes older collectors who own the original 17 and 18 releases want to grab these new figures because they simply look better with the repaint. Secondly, although these event exclusive look very good, they're not a remold in terms of the body style. This means that we don't get a 2.0 body for the Android figures that a lot of the new Dragon Ball figures have been using. Lastly, because we got this re-release, this means the original price of the original release of 17 and 18 will drop. So for people who are trying to sell the original release, they're gonna take a hit. But that one for me is not too bad because I don't really personally support scalpers. I wish Bandai Tamashii Nations would re-release their Dragon Ball line once in a while, especially for the older releases. This way we can prevent people from trying to make a huge profit margin online selling the older releases. Anyways, that's it for today. There goes the end of my review. If you enjoyed the video and the channel, please remember to support by liking the video and subscribing. I would really appreciate that. As always, my friends, stay young at heart. Until next time, we're out.